Hello, I'm going to give you 3 steps that will help you become a master at anything. So the question is, what would you like to be a master of? Uh, Follow these 3 steps and you can become an expert, or all your dreams will come true. Maybe. Okay, let's have a look. Okay, there's 3 parts, of course. So number 1 is use the Pareto rule. Pareto was an Italian economist, I think. It's also known as the 80-20 rule. Have you heard of this? The 80-20 rule is that 20% of your effort will result in 80% of results. Right? For example, if you run a business, 20% of your customers will give you 80% of your money, maybe, generally speaking. Um, So the idea is to find that 20% that is the most important, the fundamentals, the basics that will give you 80% of results. Other examples, well, I've got written down here, you use 20% of the apps on your telephone, 80% of the time. Maybe you spend 80% of your time with only 20% of your friends or family. Anyway, the point is find the key 20% that will give you 80% results. It may not be exactly 2080, it might be 1090 or 1585 or whatever. But find the most efficient things to do with your time. That's difficult to find, but maybe you can identify the key things that you need to do. Okay, so if you've done that, great. Number 2, get feedback. Feedback is opinions from other people. So if you're learning a new skill, you need to hear from somebody if what you're doing is right. You could get feedback from teachers, from friends, or from a coach. If you're learning a sport, certainly it's what teachers do. It's what I do. I give you feedback on your English. If I don't understand, I go, "What? I don't understand." You know immediately, oh, I need to work on something. So that's very important. Okay, so you establish the basics, get feedback, and then perhaps the hardest thing, certainly the longest thing, is number 3, repeat about 10,000 times. What? 10,000 times? I think this comes from Malcolm Gladwell. Just here, I've got his name here. He was a New Yorker writer who came up with the 10,000 rule. He did some studies of famous people, and he found that to get really good at something, you need to do it 10,000 hours. And he used, I think, for example, the Beatles. The Beatles, of course, very famous pop group from England. People think they were an overnight success, but they weren't. They spent many, many hours working for many years, I think, in German nightclubs before they became famous. So they put in their 10,000 hours of practice. So musicians have to do that. Sports people have to put their 10,000 hours. Maybe it's the same for learning a language. The reason why native speakers are so good, because they've been speaking for so long and get lots of feedback. So that's maybe what you need to do too, to improve at a language. Okay, I've been talking long enough, not 10,000 hours, but long enough. Okay, here's 3 questions. Number 1, let me zoom in so you can see this if you're looking on a small screen. Oh, when I zoom in, I can notice mistakes. Okay, number 1, are you a master or really good at something? Is there anything that you're a master of? How did you get good at it? Not God, good. How did you get good at it? I'm not good at typing. Okay, number 2, what would you like to become a master of? Anything? Well, I was thinking also that these rules, these 3 rules, maybe they apply to learning a language. So number 3, how can the 3 rules be used for learning English? I don't know, you tell me. The 3 rules, by the way, are here. Study the basics using the 80-20 rule, get feedback, and repeat 10,000 times. Is that the same for learning English? I don't know. Okay, I think that's enough. Let's have a chat about this when I see you next. Thank you very much.